My name is Amber Pendleton, and I'm 29. I fix networks for a living and lists for my sanity. I can tell you which aisle the good extension cords hide in and which grocery restocks oat milk on Tuesdays. My apartment hums like a neatly tuned server, quiet, efficient, mine. That night, the sink water ran warm and cloudy over a plate I didn't remember dirtying. I was half listening to the soft click of our hallway diffuser when Caleb said it like a weather report. I'm going to Cabo next weekend. I stopped mid-rinse. The plate squealed against porcelain, a skidding note that made me wince. With who? Just a small group, he said, scrolling his phone like he'd practiced this. Mandy, her boyfriend, and Vanessa. The name hit the kitchen like cold air from an open freezer. Vanessa, I repeated steady. Your ex-girlfriend. That Vanessa. He didn't look up. It's a group trip, Amber. Don't be weird about it. Weird. The word people use when they're about to gaslight you out of your own instincts. I'm not being weird, I said. I'm setting a boundary. I'm not comfortable with my boyfriend going on a beach vacation with his ex. Caleb finally met my eyes, amusement curdling into annoyance. God, you're so controlling. Vanessa and I are friends now. Then why wasn't I invited? He rolled his eyes. You hate beach trips. Miami? You complained the entire time. Because I got sun poisoning, I breathed, slow. This isn't about beaches, it's about respect. I'm asking you not to go. He dropped his phone onto the counter so it thunked, louder than it needed to. He planted his hands on his hips like a courtroom lawyer about to deliver a line he adored hearing himself say. I don't need your permission for anything. There it was, permission, hung in the steam above the sink, a word that turned a reasonable boundary into a parental leash. It's amazing how a single word can snap a world in half. I turned the water off. The apartment seemed to lean in, listening. You're right, I said. You don't. Caleb blinked, already triumphant, already rehearsing the victory speech. Exactly. Thank you for... Good, I added, my voice level, because you don't have it anymore. A beat. Confusion wrinkled his forehead. What? You want to act single? I said softly. Be single. Go to Cabo. He scoffed, a laugh with a knife in it. You're breaking up with me over a trip? Seriously? No, I said. I'm ending this because every time I ask for a boundary, you turn it into a debate about my character. You'd rather shout about permissions than have an adult conversation. You're bluffing, he said, and that was the problem with us in one sentence. He had faith in my patience like it was infinite. Watch me not. I walked past him, down the short hall to my bedroom, because the lease had one name on it and it wasn't his, and pulled open the dresser. I started a neat stack of his things. He followed, voice rising and falling like a bad radio signal. What are you doing? Helping you pack, I said. Not for Cabo, for moving out. You can't kick me out, he snapped. I live here. You stay here, I corrected. Your name's not on the lease. I have rights. You have 30 days' notice, I said. But since you'll be in Cabo this weekend, might as well start early. He shifted tactics like gears grinding. His voice softened, the way honey looks golden until you feel the stick. He touched my arm. Baby, come on, let's talk. Maybe you could come to Cabo, too. I raised an eyebrow. Now I'm invited. How convenient. I'll tell Vanessa that I'm crashing your reunion tour. I set a folded t-shirt into the suitcase. No thanks. It's not like that. Then explain what it is, Caleb, I said, finally meeting his eyes. Explain why you have to go on a trip with your ex. He pulled his hand back. I don't have to explain anything to you. You're not my keeper. You're right, I said. I'm not anymore. The next hours were a carousel I'd already ridden. Fury, then pleading, then moral outrage, then the tired speech about how I was lucky he chose me. At midnight, he grabbed an overnight bag, tossed words over his shoulder that didn't land where he hoped. When you come to your senses, text me. Don't hold your breath, I said. He paused at the door. You'll regret this. No one else will put up with your jealousy issues. My jealousy issues? I tilted my head. You're choosing a vacation with your ex over our relationship. The door slammed. The apartment exhaled. I sat on the couch and let silence do its job. There's a point where grief cools into clarity. If you stay very still, you can hear the click. My phone buzzed. Caleb. You just threw away the best thing in your life. I didn't respond. Instead, I opened a new note and titled it Action Items, My Love Language. Thursday, 8:10 a.m. Confirm his flight wheels up. 8:20 a.m. Movers, TaskRabbit. Labels, photos before, after. Storage, 1 month prepaid. Key and envelope. Legal. Draft and print 30-day notice to vacate. Locks. Coordinate with landlord. change while he's away. Tech, reset door cam, change door code, revoke device logins. Cleaning, reclaim the space. Deep clean, fresh sheets, new layout, my place. I slept like I hadn't in months. Thursday, moving day. I watched the flight tracker until the little plane slid past the point of no return. Then I stood, stretched, and got to work. The movers were efficient and kind. Only what isn't yours? One asked. Exactly, I said. Nothing missing, nothing damaged, everything labeled. I took photos of every room, angles wide and close, photos of drawer contents, photos of boxes sealed and numbered. Evidence is a kind of love for future you. We loaded the last box by late afternoon and drove to the storage facility. I paid for 1 month, wrote the unit number and code with neat block letters on a card, and slipped both card and key into a small craft envelope. Back home, I wiped the counters until they shone, changed the sheets, tucked corners hospital tight, and moved the coffee table 3 inches to the left. The apartment felt lighter, as if it had been holding its breath and finally remembered how to breathe. My phone lit up with notifications. Mandy had posted a boomerang at sunset, clinking glasses, laughing faces. Vanessa's profile edged into frame beside Caleb. Later, a hot tub story. Caleb's hand on the edge behind her shoulder, her laugh tilted toward him. He didn't tag me. Our mutual friends didn't know whether to ask or mind their business. One of mine didn't mind it. Marcus, you seeing this? Me. Yep. Marcus, you okay? Me. Better than okay. She planned a show. I planned an exit. He sent back the prayer hands and a skull. Internet hieroglyphics for I'm with you and rip this bandage off. Friday night, I stood at the door and looked at the brass number I'd walked past 1,000 times. I pressed my palm flat against the wood. You're safe, I told it, and meant myself. Saturday morning, my landlord Greg called me back. I explained the lease. He didn't need convincing. We'll do it by the book, he said. By noon, maintenance changed the locks. By 1:00 p.m., I updated the door camera and set a new code. Then I made tea and watched the little screen. Not out of malice, out of closure. Saturday night, Mandy texted again. A different energy this time. Mandy, Amber, I'm so sorry. She told me you were cool with the trip. Me. She? Mandy. Vanessa and Caleb. They're sharing a room now. I feel sick. I wouldn't have come if I'd known. Me. Not your fault. Thank you for telling me. I added the screenshot to my folder called Cabo. Proof isn't about revenge. It's about sanity. Sunday, 7:23 p.m. The door camera pinged. A face filled the screen. Pretty, familiar, a little sunburned. Caleb tried his key. It didn't turn. He tried again, harder. The code. Nothing. He pulled out his phone, dialed. I let it buzz, then texted exactly once. Caleb, my key isn't working. Me, that's not your key anymore. Satisfying silence, then, what does that even mean? I typed, check the planner by the door. In the narrow entry, I'd left the craft envelope propped against a small ceramic plant, my version of a bow. Inside, the storage key, the unit number, the code, the receipt for 1 month paid, the 30-day notice, and a note I'd rewritten 3 times until it said exactly enough. You don't need my permission for anything. That includes living here. He stared at the envelope on the camera feed like it might rearrange itself into a different truth. His face ran through the cycle, shock into rage into disbelief, like weather sweeping across a landscape. He called again, and again, 27 times in the next hour, 15 voicemails. I didn't pick up. I watched the tiny doorbell screen instead, my own private theater, where, for once, the plot made sense. Somewhere between calls 8 and 9, he muttered, "This is illegal. I'm calling the police." I set my mug down, pulled the folder from the drawer, and placed it by the door. Lease. My name only. Notice. Dated. Photo log. Storage receipt. Texts. Evidence that a boundary isn't a tantrum. It's a decision with paperwork. The apartment was warm and still. For the first time in years, I felt it again. Not permission, not apology, authority. Welcome home, I told the room, and meant it. The next morning, I woke to silence, the kind that comes after you've cleaned every corner of chaos out of your life. I made coffee. No mug left in the sink. No half-open drawer. Just peace. My phone buzzed with a flood of Cabo updates. Caleb's feed looked like a travel ad. Ocean shots, group dinners, palm trees bending like they were bowing to him. And in almost every photo, there she was, Vanessa, perfect hair, perfect laugh, perfect reminder. At first, I felt that old sting. Then, clarity. I'd given him exactly what he wanted, freedom. He just hadn't realized what that meant yet. Saturday, 8:12 a.m. My doorbell rang. 2 police officers stood in the hallway, calm, professional, holding notepads. Miss Pendleton? Yes. We got a call about a possible illegal eviction. I already had the folder waiting by the door. I handed it over. My lease, I said, tapping the first page. Only my name. Here's the written 30-day notice. Proof that all his belongings are in a secured storage unit, prepaid and untouched. The older officer flipped through it, nodding. And he left on his own? He left voluntarily for a trip after I asked him to move out. The younger one frowned slightly. To Cabo? Exactly, I said. You've probably seen the photos. He couldn't help a half smile. We'll file this as a civil matter. You're within your rights. Appreciate that, I said. Do you want me to send you the unit receipt for your report? He blinked. That won't be necessary. They left. I closed the door, exhaled, and whispered, and seen. Sunday night. The door camera blinked again. My silent movie projector. Caleb stood there, arguing with someone out of frame. The muffled voice of a woman drifted in. Vanessa. He turned back toward the camera. You can't just lock me out, Amber. I live here. I turned up the volume, sipping my tea. You don't, I whispered. Not anymore. Then his tone shifted. He pressed his forehead to the door, a cracked whisper. Please, baby. I made a mistake. I watched him slump against the frame, hands trembling, the same hands that once held me when I thought the world was collapsing. Now, they just looked empty. The camera caught everything. The pacing, the calls, the defeated sigh when a neighbor passed and pretended not to see. At 9:30, another knock. Softer, but more deliberate. When the feed loaded, Vanessa was back. Lip gloss, messy bun, pity painted across her face. She pressed the doorbell once and called out, Amber, can you please just let him grab his things? I didn't answer. The camera's night vision flickered in gray tones. Caleb's voice, desperate now. Just 5 minutes. I'll take whatever you want me to. I'll leave. I sent one final text. Your belongings are safely stored. You have the key. The address is in your envelope. Please respect the notice and stop contacting me. A pause, then 3 gray dots. His reply finally appeared. You're really heartless, you know that? I didn't respond, but I did smile. Monday morning. The internet had opinions. Mutual friends were buzzing. Screenshots, whispers, and awkward DMs. Marcus. Girl. He's telling people you threw him out and changed the locks without warning. Me. Did he also tell them about the Cabo trip with his ex? Marcus. Not yet. Want me to fix that? Me. Don't bother. The truth travels fine on its own legs. Still, the temptation was there, to post receipts, to scorch the narrative. But I didn't. Silence is its own statement, and louder than any post. By Tuesday, I got a text from an unknown number, Vanessa. Hey, I just wanted to say none of this was supposed to get this messy. Caleb's really struggling right now. Maybe you two can talk when things calm down? I stared at the message for a long time. Not angry, just tired. I typed back, you can tell him I already said everything I needed to. Enjoy Cabo. Then I blocked her. That night, I cooked dinner for one, turned on my playlist, and opened the balcony door. The city hummed below. Horns, laughter, distant music. All of it reminding me that the world keeps moving even when your personal one collapses. But here's the secret no one tells you. Collapse clears space. I rearranged the furniture, hung new curtains, even repainted the corner wall a shade called Quiet Dawn. By midnight, my apartment felt like mine again. Not our place. Mine. Thursday morning. A week since the Cabo announcement. Caleb was still silent. Or maybe blocked. Probably both. I woke early, checked my camera feed. He hadn't been back. Good. Then, I opened my email and froze. Subject, urgent, from Mandy. Inside, screenshots. Caleb and Vanessa in the hot tub, clinking glasses. Caleb's arm around her waist. Her head tilted, laughing into his shoulder. Timestamp Saturday, 11:42 p.m. Mandy's message. I thought you should know. He said you two were on a break. I'm sorry, I didn't know it was a lie. I stared at the screen until the clock ticked past 9. Then I saved everything, every image, every message, into a folder labeled Closure. Because I didn't need revenge. I already had something better: documentation and peace. That night, I ordered takeout from my favorite Thai place, the one Caleb always complained was too spicy. I sat cross-legged on the couch, surrounded by quiet. The air smelled of lemongrass and clean sheets. My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. You'll regret this. You can't erase me. I blocked it without reading the rest. I glanced at my freshly painted wall, still drying, pale gray, turning soft blue in the lamplight. It looked peaceful. So did I. And somewhere in Cabo, under neon lights and shallow laughter, I knew Caleb was realizing that losing someone who refused to tolerate disrespect wasn't freedom. It was consequence. By week 2, Caleb's silence cracked. He didn't text. He posted a long, emotional Facebook essay titled, "Surviving Control, My Story." Photos of beaches. A caption about finding freedom from manipulation. Subtext loud enough to deafen anyone who knew us. I didn't reply, but our mutual friends did. Ashley. Didn't you just go to Cabo with your ex? Jerome. Bro, she literally paid your car insurance for 6 months. Sit down. Mandy. This ain't it, Caleb. By the 4th comment, he deleted the whole post. Damage control never survives screenshots. Monday morning. I stepped outside, coffee in hand, and froze. My car was gone. For a split second, panic hit like a cold slap. Then I remembered. Caleb had a spare key. I opened the tracking app on my phone. Ping. The signal blinked from across town. Vanessa's apartment complex. I took a slow breath, dialed the non-emergency police line, and reported the car stolen. They found it 3 hours later. Caleb tried to tell them he was just borrowing it. Ownership title? My name only. The cop told me later, laughing. He said, "It's basically my car, too." I replied, "That's not how ownership works." He smiled. Didn't think so. An hour later, my phone lit up again. Mrs. Chen, Caleb's mother. Amber, sweetheart. Caleb can't access Netflix. Could you fix that, please? I nearly laughed. Hi, Mrs. Chen. Caleb and I aren't together anymore. He'll need his own account now. But he's going through such a hard time. I sipped my tea. That's the hard time he created. He'll figure it out. Click. Silence. By day 10, he still hadn't collected his belongings from storage. Too expensive to move, he claimed. He wanted me to pay for movers, extend the unit for free, and let him sort things out inside my apartment. I sent one text. All items are available for pickup. Access key in your possession. Unit prepaid until 30 days. No further arrangements will be made. His response came minutes later. You're heartless. I never realized how cold you could be. I typed back, but deleted the draft. Some truths don't need repeating. Day 12. My phone rang in the middle of a client meeting. Reception said, "There's a family emergency. Your boyfriend called." My stomach dropped, then tightened. Boyfriend? HR escorted me to a conference room. They were smart like that. Speakerphone on. "This is Amber Pendleton." "Amber, thank God." Caleb's voice. Dramatic, urgent. "You wouldn't answer me. I'm desperate." "This is my workplace, Caleb," I said, measured. "What's the emergency?" "I need to talk to you. I'm losing everything." "That's not an emergency. That's consequences." "You can't do this to me. I have nowhere to go. Vanessa and I—" He stopped mid-sentence, realizing he'd said her name. Too late. "Vanessa and you—" "What?" Silence. Then quietly, "We broke up." I didn't speak, just glanced at HR, who was taking notes. He kept going, his voice unraveling. "You don't understand, Amber. She used me. She told everyone you were abusive. Now everyone's against me. Maybe you should have considered that before you joined the sequel tour." He tried to laugh. "You always have to win, huh?" "No," I said. "I just stopped playing your game." I hung up. HR documented the call as harassment through workplace channels. They asked if I wanted to file a restraining order. "Not yet," I said, "but I'm keeping records." That night, I got a message from Mandy, the girl who'd gone on the Cabo trip. "Amber, there's something you need to know. Caleb planned that trip to make you jealous. He literally told us, 'Watch her cave when she sees me with Vanessa.' He thought you'd beg him to stay." I stared at her message for a long time, then I sent back. "He planned manipulation as a vacation." She replied with one word. "Exactly." I screenshot everything and added it to a folder called Evidence. By now, Caleb's reputation was catching up to him. He told different stories to everyone, that I kicked him out for no reason, that I was cheating, that I'd stolen his savings. But our friend group talked, and when the stories didn't align, people started comparing notes. Group chat, Thursday night. Ashley. Wait, he said she drained his account? Jerome. She literally paid his student loans last year. Mandy. He told me they were just taking a break so he could clear his head. Marcus. More like clear her apartment. The receipts traveled fast. Faster than Caleb could delete anything. And the truth, finally, began to speak louder than his victim act. A week later, I got another letter, this time from his lawyer. Formal, condescending, full of buzzwords like unlawful eviction, emotional distress, and damages totaling $10,000. I smiled as I forwarded it to my lawyer, Dana. She didn't even flinch. Her reply, "Don't worry, I'll make it hurt," in the paperwork sense. The response letter included, copy of my lease, solo name. Text where he said, "I don't need your permission for anything." Screenshots of his Cabo posts. Police report confirming no crime committed. Written 30-day notice, time-stamped before his trip. Dana's closing line was a masterpiece. Ms. Pendleton has been more than accommodating. If Mr. Chen wishes to pursue further action, we will be requesting attorney's fees. 3 hours later, his lawyer dropped the case. But Caleb wasn't done trying. He started calling mutuals again, crying on the phone about being homeless. Marcus texted me. He's telling people you threw him out while he was at work. I showed them the Cabo posts. They went quiet. Let him talk, I replied. Every lie is just a longer rope. By Sunday, the storage unit company called. Miss Pendleton, the unit under your name has an unpaid extension. Would you like to renew for another month? No, I said. Follow abandonment procedure. They'd notify him twice before auctioning the contents. It wasn't revenge, it was process. I closed my laptop, stretched, and looked around my apartment. The quiet hum of the AC, the faint scent of lemon cleaner, the absence of chaos. Peace has a sound. It's the absence of footsteps that don't belong. And as I sank into the couch, I thought of something my grandmother once said. Some people don't burn bridges, honey. They build bonfires and dance on them. Caleb was still dancing. I'd already crossed to the other side. It's funny. When you finally stop defending yourself, the truth starts doing the work for you. 2 weeks after the Cabo incident, the storm around Caleb Chen started to eat itself. His half-truths clashed midair like bad fireworks. Every story he told to gain sympathy became a spark that lit another fuse. By now, I didn't even need to respond. Screenshots, timestamps, and witnesses were enough. Monday morning, I got a polite but firm call from Dana, my lawyer. Amber, you'll appreciate this, she said. Mr. Chen's legal team withdrew their claim. Already? Apparently, they reviewed your evidence packet, the one with the photo, documentation, police report, and the "I don't need your permission" text. Oh yes, I said. My favorite exhibit. Dana chuckled. He's digging himself a hole. Just keep your records clean. Don't engage online. I won't. I've learned silence can be louder than any reply. Still, curiosity won for a moment. I checked his socials from a burner account. There it was. A new post captioned, "Starting fresh. Don't let people who couldn't handle your truth define your story." The comments told another tale. Ashley, handle your truth or handle your ex in Cabo. Jerome, bro, stop posting memes and pay for your storage. Mandy, you lied to everyone. Take accountability. Within an hour, he deleted the post and blocked half our friend group. That night, I joined a group chat Marcus had made titled Justice for Amber's Netflix Password. I rolled my eyes but smiled. Marcus, you know he tried logging in again. Me, persistent. Ashley, he's telling people you hacked his accounts. Me, I changed my passwords. That's not hacking, that's hygiene. We laughed, a light kind of laughter that didn't sting. For the first time, the drama wasn't consuming me. It was dissolving. Meanwhile, the storage clock kept ticking. Day 21, day 25, day 28. I had the automated email reminders forwarded to a folder called Countdown. Each message was the same. Unpaid storage unit number 247. Reminder. Item subject to disposal after 30 days. I didn't gloat. I didn't cheer. I just watched the timer run down like sand through glass. Sometimes closure isn't a single event. It's a slow expiration of access. On day 30, the phone rang again, this time from Mrs. Chen. Amber, dear, Caleb says you're refusing to let him get his belongings. I took a deep breath. I prepaid 1 month of storage, Mrs. Chen. He has the key and code. He hasn't gone once. But he says it's too expensive to rent a truck. I understand, but I'm not responsible for his logistics. There was a pause, then a tired sigh. You always were so methodical. That's one word for it, I said softly. She hung up. I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. Because enabling doesn't stop pain. It just delays it. 2 days later, my phone buzzed again. Marcus sent a screenshot. Caleb's GoFundMe page. Escaping a toxic relationship. Need help rebuilding my life. Goal, $5,000. Raised, $62. Marcus. People donating $2 with comments like, buy a clue, me. Then he's rich in lessons. We laughed again. Small, dry laughter that tasted like closure. Later that week, my phone vibrated with a message from Greg, my landlord. Hey, Amber, just confirming everything's calm. Security said your ex tried showing up again, but they turned him away. I typed back, thank you. If he shows again, I'll get a restraining order. He replied with a thumbs up emoji, professional and oddly comforting. Saturday night, I sat on my balcony, laptop open, watching the last amber light sink behind the skyline. The city moved on, oblivious to one woman's quiet victory. I checked the clock. 11:57 p.m. The storage grace period was officially over. I whispered to the night, time's up, Caleb. And then I closed my laptop. Monday morning, I found a voicemail from Dana. Amber, just FYI. Mr. Chen's lawyer sent a final note confirming no further contact. You're legally clear. I smiled, slipped my phone into my bag, and left for work. No victory post, no confession thread, just calm. Because peace doesn't need witnesses. But the story wasn't quite done with me yet. It rarely ends when you think it does. That same afternoon, the security desk buzzed my office. Miss Pendleton, you have visitors, an older couple. My stomach dropped before the guard finished. Mr. and Mrs. Chen, he said. I almost laughed, of course. Send them up, I said. Let's finish this properly. The elevator ride down to the lobby felt like one of those slow-motion dreams. Every floor number glowing too long, every breath thick with déjà vu. I hadn't seen Mr. and Mrs. Chen since last Thanksgiving, back when Caleb still called me his rock in front of them, and too demanding behind my back. They were waiting near the glass doors, both holding paper coffee cups like shields. Mr. Chen's jaw was tight. Mrs. Chen's eyes were red but sharp. Amber, she started softly, thank you for meeting us. I wasn't expecting visitors, I said. Everything all right? She gave a brittle laugh. That depends on what you mean by all right. Mr. Chen took a step forward, voice firm but not unkind. We came because Caleb's story isn't matching the facts. We wanted to hear it directly from you. I nodded slowly. Then let's talk facts. I guided them to the lobby cafe, a quiet corner with frosted glass and tired jazz music playing overhead. Mrs. Chen clasped her coffee like it might anchor her. Caleb told us you locked him out without warning, Mr. Chen began. I slid a folder from my bag, thin, organized, labeled timeline. I didn't plan to show it, but sometimes proof does the talking. 30-day notice, dated before he left for Cabo, I said. Police report showing no illegal eviction. Photos of every boxed item in the storage unit. Receipts for 1 month prepaid. They both leaned in. Mrs. Chen's fingers trembled slightly as she scanned the pages. This is meticulous, she murmured. Boundaries usually are, I replied. Mr. Chen exhaled. He told us you destroyed his belongings. The storage facility sent him 3 reminders, I said, pulling up the emails on my phone. He ignored all of them. When the unit went unpaid, they followed procedure. Everything was auctioned. Nothing I could do. Silence. The kind that fills a room when someone's carefully built delusion starts to crack. Mrs. Chen whispered, he said he never got the key. I opened another document, screenshot from the door camera. Caleb holding the envelope, staring at it like it might rewrite itself. Mr. Chen rubbed his temples. He lied to us. Then Mrs. Chen's voice broke. We gave him money, Amber. $5,000. He said you'd thrown everything away and he needed to replace it all. The words hit like cold water. I'm sorry, I said quietly. He spent that? She nodded. On clothes. A trip to Vegas, Botox. Her voice shook. Not $1 went toward moving or rent. We only found out when his cousin saw him posting from a resort. Mr. Chen looked exhausted. We thought maybe you'd overreacted. Now I see we've been feeding the problem. I chose my words carefully. I don't want to come between you and your son, but enabling him only prolongs the lesson life's trying to teach him. Mrs. Chen stared at the table. He told us you were cruel, that you humiliated him. We believed him because it was easier. I softened. I understand. Believing the version that hurts less is something we all do. Mr. Chen straightened. We wanted you to know we're cutting him off, financially, emotionally, everything. He's 28 years old. If he wants to live like the rules don't apply, he can see what that life really costs. Mrs. Chen nodded, tears finally spilling. You didn't deserve any of this, Amber. I'm sorry we ever judged you. I felt a strange mix of relief and pity. You don't owe me an apology, I said, but I appreciate it. When they left, I sat in the lobby for a while, watching the revolving door spin, an endless circle of people coming and going, none of them knowing that someone's family had just broken a generational pattern of denial over lattes. Marcus texted right then, perfect timing as always. Marcus, heard the parents showed up. How bad was it? Me. Civil, painful, necessary. Marcus. Closure? Me. Almost. There's always one more plot twist with Caleb. That night, my prediction came true. At 11:42 p.m., an unknown number flashed across my screen. Against my better judgment, I answered. A long breath on the other end. Then a voice, hoarse, broken, familiar. Amber, it's me. Caleb, I said flatly, you shouldn't be calling me. I know, but please don't hang up. I stayed silent. He sniffed, then blurted. I messed up. Everyone turned against me. My parents cut me off. Vanessa won't talk to me. I'm staying on a friend's couch. I have nothing. That's unfortunate, I said evenly. I made one mistake. One? I let the question hang. You made a series of choices, and every one of them came with a warning label. I just wanted to make you jealous, he said suddenly, voice cracking. That's all. I thought if you saw me with Vanessa, you'd fight for me. My laugh was short, cold. Congratulations. You got your fight. You just lost the ring. He sobbed. Please, Amber, I need help. Just a place to stay until I figure things out. I looked around my apartment. Clean surfaces, folded blankets, peace hanging in the air like a reward. No, I said quietly. You need consequences, not comfort. He went silent. Then, bitterly, you'll regret this. I hope you're proud of yourself. I am, I said, and hung up. The next morning, my phone buzzed with a message from an unknown contact. A screenshot. Caleb, smiling beside a woman at a bar, captioned New Beginnings. Marcus sent a follow-up. Marcus. 3 weeks after crying homelessness. The man is resilient. Me. Parasites usually are. I deleted the photo and turned my phone face down. Because for the first time in years, my life was quiet enough that I could actually hear my own thoughts. And I liked what they were saying. 2 weeks passed without a single mention of Caleb Chen in my orbit. The silence was golden, soft, clean. I'd started sleeping through the night again, waking up before my alarm, sipping coffee on the balcony with no buzzing phone, no dread. Until one night, the peace cracked, just slightly. It was almost midnight when an unknown number lit up my screen. I shouldn't have answered, but I did. A shallow, trembling breath, then a broken whisper. Amber, please don't hang up. I didn't speak. I'm pregnant, he said. I actually laughed. That's impressive, Caleb, even for you. No, not me, Vanessa, but she's saying, let me guess, I interrupted, that it might be mine? He went quiet. You forget, I said slowly. I wasn't in Cabo. She was, with you, remember? It's not like that, he said. She's confused. She thinks... She's not the only one, I said. Caleb, you're grasping for anything that keeps me on the line, but I'm not your safety net, not your scapegoat, and definitely not your audience. Amber, please, I'm falling apart. I lost everything. My parents cut me off. Vanessa's gone. I just need you to listen. I exhaled, long and tired. No, Caleb. What you need is to sit with the echo of your own choices. Every single one. Click, end call, block number. 3 days later, I heard from Marcus again. He'd seen something. Marcus, you're not going to believe this. Caleb's on Instagram again. Me. I told you I stopped believing weeks ago. Marcus, he's getting married. I blinked. To who? Some woman he met at a self-improvement seminar. Caption says, when you know, you know. I couldn't help it. I laughed. The irony tasted almost sweet. Marcus, I typed, if that woman's smart, she'll ask where he keeps his spare keys. That weekend, I finally visited the storage facility, not because I needed to, but to see it closed. The clerk recognized my name and smiled kindly. Oh, Unit 247? Yeah, that one got auctioned 2 weeks ago. Whole thing gone. How did it go? I asked. Pretty standard, he said. Mostly clothes, electronics, old furniture. The bidder said it looked like someone packed in a hurry and never looked back. I smiled faintly. Sounds about right. Walking out, I realized how symbolic that was. His entire past, boxed up and sold off, while I walked forward with nothing to reclaim. A few days later, I got one more voicemail from Mrs. Chen. Her tone had changed. Amber, I just wanted to say thank you. We finally stopped enabling him. We told him we won't pay his debts, won't bail him out, won't excuse the lies. He's angry, but we're free too. Thank you for being the lesson he refused to learn. I didn't call back. Some messages deserve to just end in peace. Life, after drama, feels disorienting at first. Like walking through a house after the party ends. Still echoes of laughter, but you realize none of it was really fun. I leaned into the quiet. Therapy sessions, daily runs, new playlists. Work picked up. I earned a promotion. Apparently focus thrives without chaos clawing at it. On weekends, I'd meet Marcus and Ashley for brunch. They teased me about my document everything tendencies. You probably have a spreadsheet for healing, Marcus joked. I do, I said, grinning. It's color-coded. Months later, a random notification popped up from a blocked account. Curiosity got me. I opened it. A public post from Caleb. Photo of him and his new wife, smiling in front of a leased BMW, captioned, "Real love is about trust, not control." The comments, though, told the real story. Vanessa. Trust? You texted me last month. Mandy. Oh boy, not again. Marcus. This man collects red flags like souvenirs. I turned my phone off and laughed until I cried. Sometimes people say revenge is living well. They're wrong. Revenge still ties you to the wreckage. Peace means you can watch the wreckage fade into the distance and not feel the need to look back. So here's where we end. Caleb's still chasing validation through hashtags and rebound vows. Vanessa's apparently dating a guy who actually owns his car. Mr. and Mrs. Chen are in therapy, rebuilding boundaries decades overdue. And me? I'm thriving. New apartment, new city skyline. A small balcony garden I keep alive just to prove I can nurture something without losing myself in it. Sometimes, on quiet nights, I think about that moment at the sink, the word permission hanging between us like a loaded gun. It's poetic, really. He thought that word gave him freedom. It gave me mine.